Good afternoon, everybody. This is Heather / Hetty Stevens from Mainly Alive in Me. You'll also know me on Epilepsy Cures. I am just doing just a quick message to. I wanted to share. I didn't really want to throw it in my blog that I posted on Dear Jason Mitchener because it's kind of hard to read. Something that was just really inspiring that he would always say every time I go there to see him, because it just always just it's just truthful. It was very inspiring, and because he found Jesus later in his life, um, and it was in college in a very interesting manner, because he saw a cute girl, and no names or anything, but and that's pretty much how he started going to the Crusaders um, uh, at a ASU, Campus Crusaders, because he saw a cute girl and they were meeting on Thursdays, and of course she invited, and oh, he's all about it now. And by then, of course, he had already, hit wheelchair. He hit wheelchair in high school. And so he was already in a wheelchair. And so, of course, getting that invite by such a good looking girl, you feel, amen. And he told me some amazing, amazing stories about that amazing soul. And anyway, and I'm sure, more so than she's very much mourning, and my heart goes out to you very much. But he would always say to me that if God were to ask him, Jason, what? Here are your two choices. Which do you want? Because he's always, he progressed, and at the age of 13, he had always been on crutches till 13. Then he's off and on in a wheelchair. Then he was pretty much in high school. He got to be using the wheelchair pretty much constantly. And then he got to the point where he was paralyzed after a very interesting ordeal that happened when it wasn't laid out that he was supposed to still move after the surgery that he had to have. And because of the non-movement, he wound up being paralyzed from here down. So, and he can only turn his neck this much to, turn and talk. So he can do this a lot, for typing and stuff, but he couldn't turn his head anywhere to the right, but he could turn a little bit to the left. But beside the point, through all this, he's been through so much stuff, being able to go to church, and all of a sudden 3.5 years he hadn't been, and now it got to the point where he finally was able, because of the van being fixed, the insurance, being set up, and everything just pretty much get go. And it's just, I think God just really had it in his book that he wanted his, son, to be able to show him that he had it all in his heart to show everyone that that's what he wanted to do for Jesus, and all the while in between still keep living for him. And that's so what he did. And when I would visit, each and every time he would say that Jesus basically, when he would go back and forth, because we all do, if he were to ask him, Jason, the whole prior getting to, the whole getting sick and such, getting very, very ill and paralyzed, he says, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be you're going to be into a wheelchair. You're going to be paralyzed. You're not going to have a wife and kids, no family. And then soon after that, you're going to be on a ventilator. You're going to be in a home, a tiny home. It's the tiniest room you could ever imagine. And you'll be to the point where, yeah, it might be 8 by 10, 8 by 11, but it's really more and more 2 by 2 because it's just from when they can move you from the one chair to your bed. And it's going to be packed. It's just going to be packed, and you'll rarely see the outdoors. But you'll be bringing so many people through my word and through your faith in me, to me. You will just be on fire for me. And you have a choice between that, bringing tons of people through your strong faith that I promise you'll have, or to live a normal life, to have a beautiful life, maybe 3 kids, maybe a daughter out of it too, and just live that normal life. And he would have to weigh and balance it, and tears would come down. And that was amazing because he really got into it right before my last visit. And I really had to tell him, man, talk about plans that God has. And people like him, those are his plans. Those are his plans, because the way he was and the way I know still up there is just like, wow, he just had such amazing strength. The first one to be on fire in his family. It's so ironic, because so was I. He was born in the same city as my parents. It's just, we always had so much humor, talk about. I'd be up there for 8.5 hours, and then I'd hit every freeway coming back home. But anyway, my last visit was the day after, about maybe 12 hours after he deceased. And I didn't know, because I missed everything online, because I was gone. I was out for the day. And I had gone out. I picked them up a gift. And actually I got one for us too, my family. And then I read really read again what it says. And it says, it's a little picture of Jesus and a little angel kissing the baby Jesus' face. A little forehead. And it says, love fresh from heaven. And that's what I got him, was, this little ornament. I was going to just have him for Christmas, set up on his little desk that he types at. And I just read that, and I'm just like, wow, love fresh from heaven. And it's like, well, yeah, completely. I think that maybe he's sending love fresh from heaven with Jesus. So anyway, I learned in a very face-to-face manner with the nurses, but you guys all, I know, are mourning, and my heart goes out to everybody, and especially the family. And I'm sending you guys all my love, and I'm definitely I'm posting stuff for him, and I'm otherwise pretty quiet because I'm very emotional, which is so weird for me. So he's the first person I've ever lost, so it was tough. And it's going to be tough, but anyway, he stuck it through for my birthday. Maybe that's why. Many blessings to you guys, and I love you all so much. You guys are all blessings, and I pray that you all have a very Merry Christmas, and any of you going through this similar stuff with other people in your family, just, DM me some prayers, okay? And I love you all dearly, and many hugs, and God bless. Merry Christmas coming.